What's up, guys? It's Mr. Javid, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. And let me share a little something with you guys. So, today I hopped on because I was like, on a secret alt, by the way. And I was like, I feel like I'm about at 65%. And what that means, I say this from time to time. Um, that's about where my potential is. Generally, when I'm getting ready for tour, and that's usually around the time Smogon World Cup is, then I'll up it to as high as I can get it within the time span I have. So generally, it'll go up to like 90, and then win the tour games, and then casually record because I only play when I'm recording. And so when I hopped on today, I noticed a dull kind of apprehension or anxiety as I was about to play. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Now, if you have my book, you know what this is. I described it in the beginning, and I talk about it all the time. And it's not, anything crazy. We have it in different aspects. But I was surprised because usually, I have nothing to fear or anything like that. And so it dawned on me. I'm like, the very same phenomena that I have to talk to people about often found its way with the ego to snuck up. So now I identify it as Jam, and so without me realizing that snuck up. And so, obviously I just click find battle, and because I understand it and know the process through it. But it's just interesting how that came about. And so the reason I'm telling you guys that, how this relates to you, is I had to remind myself it's okay to make mistakes. And because the alt isn't super high, because I just started practicing on it, I'm like, well, if I lose to this guy and I'm in the 1700s or 1600s, what does this mean about me? That's what the dialogue internally for the anxiety is. What does this mean about me if this event happens? And obviously it doesn't mean anything, but it's funny that I had to remind myself of that. And so for you guys, hopefully you can take, like, I'm not perfect and I don't want to display some air of perfection. I just understand it. And so now when I'm conscious of it, now that I've uncovered all that, then it's just a matter of repetition, and then it goes away, and you just have to remind yourself. So guys, give yourself the opportunity to make mistakes. Your losses mean nothing about you. And so rant over. Hopefully somebody got some value out of that, the 3 people. Gonna be using a Blaziken Sun team today because it was requested by somebody in the comment section. And so even in doing this, everybody's saying Blaziken is trash, which it very well might be. But so what? We're still gonna use it. It's funny, I was like, maybe I should run Stone Edge over Earthquake. Stone Edge is better for Moltres and Rain, Pelipper situations. Whereas Earthquake is better for Toxapex. And in this case, had I had Stone Edge, I would have massacred my opponent. But this will make for a more fun battle without it. That's how I look at it anyway. And so let's break this down, as Torkoal's core purpose is going to be to, slight Ferrothorn switch for weather control primarily, and it helps with Melmetal. Blaziken upon Swords Dancing can massacre my opponent. What I'm thinking is Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks plus Close Combat is something he can't guard well against. I don't know if Pelipper takes 2 CCs. If he's max, yes, but then it forces the Roost. Venusaur upon growthing can do work. Ferrothorn does wall me, but it forces Venusaur in, which is great. Latios, big problem. Big problem for him. Big problem for him. And so Lando, core purpose, electric immunity to ward off that Thunderous and the Intimidate fodder. And Aegislash is pretty difficult for him to beat once I hammer down his Ferrothorn. So phase 1 for me is certainly going to be to do so. And so Latios is going to be my lead of choice. He actually expected Torkoal, so this is great because this allows for me to Aura Sphere right off jump. Now if he wants to leave the Kingdra in, kudos. Melmetal comes in. If this is Assault Vest, it'll take 2, but no longer can it take a Psyshock and Aura Sphere, which is amazing. And so Melmetal, troublesome. Troublesome for sure. And so he may quake, but I can afford to take it. So he does double iron bash hard. And so this is excellent for us because it allows for us to stealth rock. Now if because I could pivot out on his expected Pelipper, but what I want to do is put his Pelipper in a position where he has to choose to either U-turn or defog, right? And if it chooses defog, then I'm in a better position, or I'm in a decent enough position, because Kingdra could be problematic. So my Latios coming in on this would be bad, but I'm trying to waste rain turns on the off chance that he fox. All right, excellent. So this allows for me to, yeah, I'll shadow ball hard here. Actually, I am faster than him, and I get U-turn. So that's actually clutch, because what this does is it bluffs like offensive specs or something like that, right? And he's gonna go to something like Kingdra, which is what I figured. And so if it's Surf, that's better. Hydro Pump would hurt. Surf, I can take one of. Latios is too low on health to take two, I want to say. Spec Surf easily should do 50 in the rain. And Venusaur probably is not going to take it well. Kingdra is a menace. I just want to know if Aegislash dies. If it does, I won't leave it in. I think Venusaur can for sure take two. Aegislash. Kingdra in the rain. Surf. Oh, that's Blade Form. Come on. Of course, Blade Form's gonna die. See what my time is. 120. Cool. And so, Surf in the rain, buddy. That does a lot. Let's see. Latios. Mega Latios. Good times. Not naive. Whoa. Let's use Quirky right there. Surf in the rain. 44 to 52. Venu. And so because of the defensive utility of Aegislash, what I'm actually gonna do, is it better to toxic versus damage versus, yeah. Hopefully I connect. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. Very big deal. Very big deal. As you're seeing now. So, upside, Latios is pretty high on health. I get to Aura Sphere again here. He has to go Melmetal. I could Draco, but if he goes to Pelipper, I just Roost. The miss was huge, and he can't get the rain back up unless he goes Scuda, right? And so Scuda, Toxic Miss might end up biting me big time, because the Kingdra would be significantly lower, which will make a difference, because I was planning to heal Aegislash back up just by doubling around. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna go to Venusaur because I can take the flip turn. He actually going for liquidation. He's Life Orb, okay. Okie doke. Didn't expect Life Orb, but Venusaur, wasn't incredible in this game, but it's definitely something I'd have liked to have. And so Latios offensively is so amazing versus him, especially with no more I could see him doubling Pelipper here. That makes a lot of sense. Positionally, that would put me in a horrible spot. And so I really do wish I had EQ. It doesn't make sense for him to EQ, and my son doesn't matter as much anymore. Not EQ, to knock off. And so he Thunder Waves, which is the worst of the plays. I said this is where Aegislash, I would have kept doubling around with Aegislash right here. And so Forced Roost. But it is what it is. I'm trying to think if there's a solution. Maybe I can get him to make a mistake like that. Yeah, King Draw is never to play there. Ever. So, you know, again, because he's going to force the Draco. Oh, it's Pelipper. I forgot it was at 9%. So he couldn't switch it in. I forgot I had crit it with the Shadow Ball earlier. Well, actually, the Shadow Ball crit, I completely blanked on that. The Shadow Ball crit, so he's doing 37%. 37. He shouldn't kill me, but and my alternative is to get Lando in. So Pelipper gets sacked. So I have control of the sun, which means Blaziken just goes crazy now. After one speed boost. So the damage on Kingdra would mean that Blaziken, well, I think I still destroy him either way. And so Latios is just proving its worth right now, man. As I Draco hard. I had Lando and I had had to miss 2 moves for that to really get any worth. So honestly, I really could just go for Indra's. This is Earthquake spam. Force the Draco. Z Ferrothorns. That doesn't really matter. You know, because I have the Blaziken and whatnot. But let's set the sun back up. Z goes for knockoff. Makes sense. Was we just yawn here. Covers for Kingdra and gets the Blaziken free switch. Torkoal is being a champ here for real. And you know, likely Barrascuda rearing his ugly head here or whatever. I could just Lava Plume here. Flip turns. Didn't expect flip turn, but Torkoal walls skewed on the rain anyway. And so I'd assume, you know, very similar situation. You try to get the flip turn off and yada yada yada, blah 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 blah, such and such and so forth and whatnot. So actually, I'm gonna go Lando here. Sun boosted liquidation's not gonna do any damage. And what I'm trying to do is get the Ferrothorn in versus Blaziken. Excellent. And so now, part of me thinks he can live a close combat. So I'm just gonna Flare Blitz. The recoil doesn't matter. I'm way too boosted. And then, you know, obviously Lando beats the last 2. So the crit on Pelipper mattered a lot. So Blaziken actually did something. Now, this was a matchup where, you know, again, Stone Edge would have been a little more helpful. Otherwise, I would have, you know, if I had Stone Edge, I would have leaned into Blaziken earlier. But Blaziken, shout outs to the guy who wanted the, but yeah, my Edge/Miss Toxic trading for crit on Shadow Ball. So that was my mistake there, because my mind, it's funny, I'm so used to not getting luck that my mind completely just blanked on the fact that I got a Shadow Ball crit earlier. Now I did 91, so it would have done around 60. It mattered because now he couldn't switch in on rocks, but I completely forgot about that. And so I'm playing the game as if his Pelipper is at full. And I'm glad, because that just shows, remember what he said in the beginning of the game, of the live, like, I'm far from, if you've been watching me, you know how many mistakes I'll be making. Now, can I defeat anyone and get number 1, da da da? Sure. That's not the point though. What's good, bro? And it doesn't mean you're not supposed to be competitive if you want to win and actually give your full effort and all that. It just means, you know, slow down on the berating of yourself. That's all that means. And so, like, for example here, you know, Venusaur under Sun versus Coco, clicking growth, good game. But I've been noticing Assault Vest, this thing, which would be able to ladder with the boys, you know, the oh gee, bro. So Blaziken, I'm gonna try to let Blaziken do the work in this one. All I need to do is whittle down the Landers, which is a stealth rocker, so that's gonna be fairly easy. And then Blaziken can straight up 6-0 him without a boost. Venusaur overwhelm. Latios forces in Melmetal or Slow King. Shadow Ball is unguardable, and Landorus, once his Landorus goes down, Earthquake spams. So if I were my opponent, I'd try to capitalize on the Lando. Doesn't make sense to me. Capitalize on Cinderace, Pheromosa, special. Okay, let's see if he Landos. I figured not. I figured he wouldn't. Pheromosa is too good. Now it could be Scarfero. Unlikely. I don't want to. I don't want to. What I was trying to say there. I don't want to hard switch. Honestly, a play would be to go to Landis here. I mean, Torkoal here and go for Lava Plume because I know he'll stay in. To EQ. And then I get his Blaziken. But is that the best way? Lando being gone means that with Cinderace is in, actually, yeah. So I'm actually gonna go with Lando here and Lava Plume hard. If Lando goes down, he has no ground resist. He has no ground resist, and if he commits to Stealth Rock, Torkoal is at full and I can spin. So that was not a good play, but I knew he'd do that if I stayed in, especially because now I can actually potentially even just rapid spin, and so he can't even do damage to me. Just Lava Plume again here. I can see him potentially U-turning. As I said, you know, people play Lando very recklessly, and so this is amazing because now I get to get rid of his rocks if I want to, and yeah, I don't need mine. Let's get rid of his, because he could also attempt to, yeah, let's just get rid of these rocks. Max speed Torkoal, and the sun is still up. This is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal positioning. So he's gonna get my Torkoal here. I guess Latios is less useful. Let him take Latios, especially if he U-turns. Powerballs though. Guess that crit gets the crit and the burn. Well, it's whatever. I think I'd rather Sun here. And so we get the Lando switch. We can U-turn out. The reason I'm U-turning is he's a dark type and he's intimidated. And so Mosa gets the switch. Venusaur is 518. Can't guard against Ghost. It's a little less conventional than I'd have liked. He would have been 2 KO'd, but that matters. Now he's guaranteed 2 KO'd. So he might not be AV Melmetal. He is. Okay. So we'll King Shield here because I do think he's gonna expect me to be offensive. The damage on the Melmetal means that Earthquake. Like right now, Earthquake's about to sweep, especially if I get the damage on Cinderace that I want. Yeah, I knew he'd Ice Punch, predicting Lando. So now he got the drop, which means that I could sack Torkoal here, go Blaziken, and start going Brazy. I think I like that more. Yeah, let's go Blaziken and start going crazy. Slow King wastes a turn. I don't want to waste any turns. CC into Earthquake. There's no way he takes CC into Earthquake though. No way takes CC into Earthquake. So I'm gonna Life Orb CC here. I swear if this lives, there's just no way. There's just no way. He's maxed. Like, this thing is fat as hell, but I know Blaziken isn't that trash. Jolly Life Orb CC. The only reason I'd ever blitz here, because I can blitz. Metal. Yeah, it's just an average metal. Close combat does 75 to 89. Can't live. So it'll drop my defense, but it'll prevent a lot more recoil. Yeah. Because I would have to blitz recoil there. So I'm +1 speed. Pheromosa can outspeed me depending on the variant. But now he can't guard against honestly, if the Pheromosa outspeeds me, it outspeeds me. I don't think it's in my best interest to save the Blaziken anyway. Is it? What if it looks Pheromosa spread? Could he be to where this might matter? Isn't that crazy? Pheromosa still outspeeds me. Though I don't think I can lose anyway. I don't want the Pheromosa. I'll have this in versus Slowking in case he, but he's gonna sack Slowking here. Cinderace has Sucker, Pyro, probably HJK. Okay, so I sack Blaziken. This doesn't really matter since I force Power Ball. Yeah. Or, you know, you could high jump kick here. But basically, you know, what I want is I want a situation where there's just no luck, you know? No luck whatsoever. So Cinderace, high jump kicks, gets the KO. And obviously here my best bet is to get the damage off. So Earthquake's a guaranteed KO on Cinderace. Sack Venusaur. So U-turns, that's good for me. So he's trying to get the health back on Slowking, which makes sense. He has to prevent my growth, and I just get the Earthquake. Bad crit for him. That should be game. I don't think, unless I'm trying to think. I tried to set this up to where it's literally unlosable, but I'm like, is there something I'm not remembering? Can Pheromosa live this? Like, Pheromosa is pitifully frail. 66 to 78, right? Sucker Punch. Oh shit. Oh fuck. So I needed, wow, the 1%. So he has to Sucker Punch it. Wow. So that means I should have stayed in with Blaziken then. Wow, the 1%. Now, he might not be able to kill me in one go with Powerball. Wow, the 1%. Coco makes sense. The fucking 1%, I can't believe it. And so it's in his best interest to Gleam here, because if I go back to Lando, it's a 50. I can't believe it. That's actually very, very good information. I thought for sure Cinderace died no matter what. I'm curious as to what that, and that didn't cross my mind. That's actually a huge learning opportunity there. So let's change this typing. Normal. Earthquake does 73 to like, so I got a pretty normal roll. He just needs to Dazzling Gleam here, really. Man, because he only needs damage on me. It doesn't really matter what I do here. I guess he could be scouting if I have Shadow Sneak. If I had sub here, yeah, Dazzling Gleam. And I figured he would Gleam. So basically what I'm trying to do here is put myself in a position where my Aegislash is at full. He could pivot out to Cinderace here. What does he do? Probably Thunderbolted. Dazzling Gleamed. I think he's just gonna come down to the miss. He's gonna Thunderbolt here. I could have went Lando, but it's just gonna come down to the miss, honestly. Should Sucker here, so he can't miss. So I Toxic here, connects. I can't believe it. I can't believe. Very, very well played to his outs. Very, very well played to his outs. So I essentially threw that game just now then. I guaranteed one that if I just stayed in with Blaziken. I didn't think I could lose. So I'm like, you know, I think Lando, if I just played to the end. So the Cinderace suckering and taking the hit completely didn't cross my mind. So yeah, I completely threw that game. But as I said, you know, I'm not beating myself up about it. It's not, doesn't mean, oh no, now you can't, which is something I see being the case a lot, you know. Oh, now that I can't believe I threw the game away. And it's like, now that you know it won't happen again, you've now become a better player. If you take the right lessons from it, move forward, win-win, you know. So yeah, very I'm really happy with how I played that though. The Torkoal, Lore, and the Lando, very well played game. And so in this one, similarly, Blaziken. I think because people are underestimating Blaziken and going with groupthink, they're just not prepping for it anymore. And so if I was a tech variant, you know, I just swept. I cannot believe the Cinder. I can't. That was crazy. And so in this game, he's gonna be Spadef Lucha. You know, keep Aegislash at the utmost for honestly most of his team. Almost every member on his team. Lando for Ken. Blaziken is tricky. I gotta be careful around that. So ideal situation is he gives me his Lando turn 1. I mean his Garchomp turn 1. Which I do think he's gonna do. I did not mean to lead Landorus here. I actually meant to lead Latios. That sucks. I meant to lead Latios there. So I'll Earthquake him because I know he's gonna stand and take the half health. Okay, so he's defensive. Okey-doke. Alright, I don't have Defog. I don't know why I thought I had Defog on Latios. Like my brain was literally like, oh, you just Defog here, easy. But unless this is a Dragon Tail variant, I'm gonna be staring down Lele / Magearna and positionally Magearna, right? And so it depends on what his Magearna is, right? You know, it could be the bulkier variant, it could be you know, Volt Switch, something of that nature. Thing is, I'm slower, so this is gonna be actually, because he's defensive Garchomp, it's gonna be a trickier game than I thought, But first and foremost, even if that's the case with this, I'll have to shadow ball him here because I'm gonna need to growth with Venusaur, and I'm gonna get Volt Switch for a lot of that. Oh, it did a lot more than I expected. So I'm learning a lot about this, and he's 1959. I'm enjoying using this team though, actually a lot more so than I thought, and I'm not using the Venusaur as well as I think I could. And so Blaziken comes in, which is very good because it forces me in a position where I have to either predict him to Swords Dance, or I pretty much give up one of my core mons. And depending on what the Blaziken set is, because if he Swords Dances here on versus Lando, then you know it could be Earthquake, it could be this, it could be that, you know. Very, very well. I did not consider Blaziken as a potent problem, and so Torkoal is my best mid ground. Well, actually, no, not if he Swords Dances, but he knocks, which is great, which means he's likely going to either attempt to CC here, which won't KO me, or he's going to attempt to spin our rocks would be better. What am I trying to do here? Yawn into, unless he's like 4 attacks or something. Seeing knockoff matters a lot though. So I'm going to yawn here to at least force the Blaziken out, because this is a problem, especially because I set up Sun Form. Oh, he's fucking maybe 4 attacks. That's very interesting, because he has, you know, obviously he probably have stab, in which case my Lando is about to get dropped here, which isn't fun, which means I have to Earthquake him. He goes Garchomp, which I'm super thankful for, because that's going to mean a lot for my Blaziken. And so gives me Garchomp, and his speed boost is gone. And so now I need to play my Aegislash like a king. Speaking of playing like a king, I have no choice but to go to it here, which isn't what I want. Especially if he's Orb. Can't get Sun hit, you know what I'm saying? And so, as much as I can't have him switch out on the, predicting King Shield. That's a big crit. That means a lot for my Venusaur in the coming turns. Obviously King Shield here to get the utmost of health back, and then I have to sack something because now Lander is still very important. Aegislash still very important. Only thing that's beaten my Aegislash on his team is that Blaziken. In all honesty, let me think. If I don't know. I think Protect might be. I don't know, man. Like Protect, it's like for what I'm trying to say here is like the Blaziken, because I have to lose a mon here, right? And so it's a question of who. Sun wears out next turn. Lily comes in, get a free kill. If I go Lando, then the Blaziken just wins. Like it just wins, and so I have to keep that. I can't even go. Well, what I can do is go to Latios. Latios is a decent enough mid ground. If he goes to Pheromosa, do I let him kill this? He U-turns out, goes into, I'd assume Lele. Yeah, Protect Pheromosa, and it could just be what we're facing, but if we had Protect, every game we'd have destroyed our opponents, you know? So, because if I U-turn here, it just goes back to mid-gear, and then I just took rocks damage for nothing. So, okay, I'll let him take this. He actually Bug Buzz. Man, I wish I switched then. Bug Buzz was never the play, because if you Bug, oh, he's special, that's why, right? He never used Shield U-turn. Okay, so Pharaoh is dying this turn. So I shot a ball here, unless he's just gonna go for the because if he weakens this, he can Halucha me and Lele me. So it's just so many downside, but I can't have him. He might be specs. I can't have him just doing what he wants. As Yasser Blaziken, he he has Swords Dance. So what I'll do is King Shield here. He has Earthquake, right? I figured as much. We're gonna give him Venusaur as he Flare Blitzes. And this is where shit gets, again, if I had Protect, I get the boost. Versus his Halucha. So now I need to get a turn where I'm boosted twice. So I need to have Lando in versus maybe Magearna. So if he blitzes here, he's Life 4. I can U-turn. Okay, so gets Lele, which isn't ideal, but because I wouldn't have gotten the speed boost. So like, you see what I'm saying? If I had Blaziken, I just Protect. Well, no, I couldn't Protect yet. So King Shield here. It would make sense for him to go to Blaziken. But I'll just go hard Lando on the Blaziken. Unless he knock off Blaziken. That's interesting. Blaziken, I think, versus certain teams can still put in work. Because thus far, I mean, the team hasn't been doing horribly, and this is like a team made from the beginning of the tier, like the beginning last month, a month ago. Actually, it's almost been a month. Literally a month ago, Blaziken Sun team. I just took it and I replaced Slowking with Latios and Nagadadel, because that's how long we're talking, with Aegislash. And you know, I can't complain. Blaziken is a problem because Torkoal can't really light screen. Well, now I wish I had. So if he's dual screens, so real toxic here. It's not what you want to see. But upside is if he plays around too much and I stall out his terrain, because now he Earthquakes for sure. But I can dual intimidate him potentially. Oh, he Flare Blitzed hard. Is that not enough recoil? It's not enough. And his terrain goes away. Yeah. And so I've lost. Very well played, Blaziken. He goes Lele though. That's actually an opening. Not really though. Light screen, psychic terrain. He really going back Blaziken. Oh my, if I attacked him there, I was good. Like basically, I actually had a pretty solid shot if he stayed, because I would be able to toxic stall a little bit because Halucha can only attack. But now he can just Earthquake and win the game. So yeah. Didn't need to make the Blaziken double there. Just wanted. In fact, it wasn't even a good play to switch the Blaziken out in the first place. We're gonna grab another one. I learned a lot from that one, and I'm just not using Swords Dance, so I think Protect is just better here. And so we lost 2 crucial games that I would have loved to win, but we'll win the rest. And so, taking what we learned from that game, no Blaziken. And if I break it down, Torkoal's core purpose is going to be to guard against the Kartana. Zero Aura, that's something I haven't seen in a while, so that's dope to see. He has 2 ground immunity, so it's not as easy in this one. Blaziken, very good. Very, very good here. For Blaziken to win, quite a few conditions would need to be met, and I do need a little more information. But what's even more lethal is Venusaur under the sun, and I think he's quite aware of that. In fact, outside of the sun, Venusaur is lethal. Latios is also very problematic, so I'm going to use Latios to force Tapu Fini in repeatedly, which will open up my Blaziken under Sun. Landorus core purpose is going to be to guard against their aura, and Aegis Slash is just forces in Heatran, and the more we force in Heatran or kill Venusaur, then Aegis Slash can just win the game by itself if well played. And so, assuming, you know, some choice Scarf Landers, I'd assume the Lando would be Scarf before the could be Scarf Latios. I'm not about to play with this being Scarf. If he's not, then he'll go Lando. But what do I expect him to use here? Because Lando just makes the most sense mid-ground wise. But I do think he's choice Lando anyway. So it does go Lando. It would have been nice to U-turn out. But because I switched out first, well, literally switched out first, so hopefully he doesn't realize that I'm Scarf. But because I switched out first, I'd assume that... Well, I guess. I'm gonna go with my gut of that he's Scarf here. Stealth Rock. So we're in a horrible position now, because I gave him a lot of momentum there and I got all the sets wrong. And so I don't like set guessing, but I don't regret any of the plays because I know in the long run of the game, I still have a big edge. So information on Lando, that's good. As we remove what I'm expecting to be a helmet, right? As he just U-turns out. And so now for every situation where Lando comes in. And so very odd decision. Like now you see what I'm thinking, like because I switched out first, he doesn't think I'm Scarf. But either way, or maybe he just wanted to go to the fastest thing he had. I'm just checking to see if Knock one-shots Latios. Keep forgetting that this is not even Latios. I think I calced Latias. Let's say mix Mega Attacker. Landorus says no joke. Why is there no Scarf set? No, this is Lando I. As you can see, I'm not this strong. Calcing isn't my strong suit. I can't stand these garbage Scarf sets, man. Alright. So knock off. If it's not a really high chance to kill, 61 to 73. Is that no item? There's no way it does that little. Alright. Lansonberry. 91 to 50% chance. 50% chance, huh? I think that was pretty important. Excellent. And that play made sense too, because it covers Aegis Slash coming in and it covers G staying in, and so you really can just U-turn back out. It's really whatever you want. I can't switch. He has knock. Okay. Because what I'm trying to set up for, I think, is... So I wonder what his Heatran is then. It's probably Scarf Kartana. Okay. Alright, so I'm gathering some information. Not amazing here. So I'll Stone Edge in theory, because I know he's going to knock off. So I want the damage on him. So I theoretically Stone Edged him there, as this is going to allow me to Side Shock, because Heatran is his initial. So he's not fearing my Latios at all then. Which, you know, for having a Venusaur, you'd think you would. But, so Side Shock again here. Very low risk as Finny comes in. And so his Blaziken checks and counters one by one are starting to disappear, as this allows for me to get the switch into Cole as he's draining Kiss. So he's the taunt variant. He's taunt, what's it called? So this allows for me to rapid spin here as he surfs, and that gives me the free switch into Venusaur. As he surfs again, very, very odd. Very odd. Very odd. So I'd assume he'd scout, but yeah. And I double back to Heatran here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna attack him here. Okay, so he does stay in. I thought he'd double for sure. I almost Earth Powered there. So now he's completely at the mercy of Earth Power, which means he's probably gonna go to Tran, then pivot to Lando, then pivot to Tran. The problem with that is you can't outspeed my Venusaur. Well, he can if he's timid Tran. So does the Tran double, yada yada yada. But the biggest thing now is the fact that my Blaziken is now a problem. He's clearly Spadef because of how much he took from Aurasphere, so I'm not even concerned about that. And now when I set the sun back up, it's a wrap, you know. And so let's do that. Let's set the sun back up, even though he can't even KO Torkoal. Wow, that did 0. He's probably Scarf, as I said. As we go Edge Slice. If he's not Scarf, I'm fine too. So he gets a crit there. It's tough. Shadow Ball should kill Lando from there. Finny coming in is fodder. Set up fodder. He should notice, but you know, going to Kartana doesn't save you because I'm pretty sure Orb Earth Power knocks you out. In fact, I'm gonna Shadow Ball again here. Yeah. There's no downside, but I knew the threat of Venusaur coming back in would have made him very, 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 very cautious. And so King Shield is free here. It gets me the defense drop. Just no downside. And now I can just go for, what do I want to do? Almost toxic there. Just Shadow Ball here. He has knock. That's fine. Because what I'm trying to do is set up more Sun and then Venusaur finish this game. Now I'll keep AG for Smart Strike. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Latios, Force Carton on Sun. And the car has to lock itself into a move. You'd never go Kartana on Latios. And so it elects for knockoff, which I figured would be a possibility. And then just blitz for the game. Finny's not taking two of these. Yeah. Just blitz. Blitz, 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 blitz. We just close combat here. So Blaziken came back. So we learned a lot from our first games. I'm very proud of how Blaziken is performing. Definitely winnable. I think the third game was very hard to win. Obviously, the Landorus Cinderace game, very well played, playing to his outs. I thought for sure I won. So I played that one a little too safely. And a lot of fun. Again, a lot of props to my opponent, because it just goes to show, like, damn, when you think you know, you don't. But what do we learn there? Earthquake. We learned the Earthquake roll on Cinderace. We learned the Pheromosa roll and all these things. So when Cinderace is not a fire type, yeah. And so that's really how it goes, guys. I really wanted this live to emphasize that it doesn't matter. You just make your mistake. That's how you learn. You mistake your way. It's not about anything people assume, especially when they read the book or they go in the academy. When they hop on the ladder, the anxiety comes from, now that I know the information in the book, if I don't do it right, I'm fucked. It means I'm an idiot. You know, when really it just means, as I said in the beginning, learning what to do is born of learning what not to do. So you just continually fail, make the mistakes, choke there, misplay there, until you know all of what not to do, and so now you're a good player. Everything else is bullshit. And so if you think you were supposed to come out the womb the greatest Pokemon player of all time, good luck. How's that working for you? So guys, please see how many mistakes I made in this one. Please just Please just focus on that. Use that right. And so yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.